In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of our physical capacity screens we use with all cricketers who start working with us. Now, if you're new to the show, hi, I'm James Breese, and this is Blackboard Friday, our weekly show where we share some of our systems and frameworks to help you become a better cricketer. Today, we're going to talk about physical capacity screening. What is that? What do we do? And do you earn the right to get here? So physical capacity. Now, if you're aware of our framework and seen our previous videos, you know as part of our performance flywheel, we're looking at first at systemic health, and then we're looking at clinical biomechanics. And when you earn the right after you've gone through those, we then start looking at physical capacity. But what is physical capacity? Essentially, we're looking at two things: strength, power. Yes, technically three things, but I'm categorizing them as one. And then we have cardiovascular capacity. So we're looking at two distinct phases of what we're trying to achieve here. So there's 1,000,001 tests, but we want to get to the answers as quickly as we possibly can with minimal equipment, and that gives us the most relatable information to how it correlates to on the field. So in terms of strength and power, our first test we look at is your broad jump. Quite literally, how far can you jump on two legs? We're looking at a minimum to enter the equation of where we are in terms of physical capacity at 110%. Can't even draw a percentage. 110% of your height. So if you are 2 meters tall, like me, we're looking for you can jump 220 centimeters as a baseline minimum. However, we know performance is more correlated to 120% of your height. So again, if you're 2 meters tall, that should be 2 meters 40. That's baseline effort. That's baseline strength and power. That's what we're looking for here. Now, is that a strength issue or is it a power issue? We don't know yet. We'd have to investigate further. But if we know the athlete can't hit those numbers, we have a strength or power issue. Now, there's a part two to this. Then we've got the jump with no hands. With no hands. Right, so broad jump, no hands, exactly the same thing. What is the numbers? What's the ratio comparing to this at the top? We're looking for at least 85 to 95% of what you could do with your hands. Now, why are we testing without your hands? Because we're going to see if there's a disconnect between the upper half and lower half of the body. Are you using excessive arm swing to get to that jump and hit these numbers? Or are you actually using the power from where it needs to be done most, lower down? Most athletes can't translate power from the floor up to the ground and further forward. So we're looking at these ratios. A lot of time they can pass this just about. When we get to this level here, they've got no power. So the power is coming from their arms, not from their legs where we need it most. So that's very, very simple. All right, this is stage kind of one of what we're testing. Now, then we go into a very simple medicine ball throw. So med ball, rotational throw, okay? Rotational throw. Throw, left and right. For women, it's 2 kilos. For men, it's 4 kilos. You're going to stand with your feet in place and try and toss that med ball, like almost like a shot put one way, and you're going to do it on the other way. What's your ratio from left to right? Is it equal? But also, what is the standards? What are we trying to hit here? Well, we're looking to hit 10 meters. That's right, 10 meters on both sides, because that is a really good expression of strength and power. Right, because that's power is the explosiveness we need as a cricketer to bowl fast and hit bombs. Most people can't get anywhere near this. But we know the very best athletes in the world from a range of different sports, particularly power and rotational sports, they're hitting these numbers. All right, and there's a lot of data in this, particularly in the world of golf and baseball. You can look at these numbers, they're hitting these numbers as minimum standard. Yet most cricketers we see coming in are lucky to get 6 or 7 meters. And there's a huge left-right discrepancy. This is layer one testing. It helps us try and uncover whether they have a strength and power issue, and then we need to work out, well, which one is it? Is it the fact that they're not strong enough, or is it they're not powerful enough and able to show that they can actually use that force explosively. Most of the time, particularly with young cricketers, it falls in category number one. It's a strength issue. They're not strong enough. They physically can't cope with the idea of what's required of them, which is why a lot of them, particularly the back pain clients we're getting coming in now, is why their bodies are failing them. They don't have the basic power to support the frame to perform the movements they need to do. So these simple tests, say simple, they need to do the minimal equipment, and you can do them at home if you get a med ball and you get a tape measure, right? So once we know this, we then know which way we need to go. If you can't hit these numbers, then there's no point going to further testing, because we can go to further testing in terms of jumping. We then look at single leg jump. We then look at your double and your triple jump and compare that to what your broad jump is and see how you transfer and reuse energy. Then we look at like a 2-1-2 bound, which is seeing how we transfer energy on one foot. Very important when it comes to fast bowling and back foot contact. But this is the starting point. If we can't hit these numbers, we can't go any further. Now, in terms of strength and power, we're also going to do an assessment in terms of your postural stability. Can all your stabilizing muscles work for you, or are they not there, simply not there, and using prime movers as the main role? So we do a loaded carry. So loaded carry at 75% of your body weight. What that means is if you're 100 kilos, you will find 2 weights, 2 dumbbells, 2 kettlebells, equivalent to 75 kilos. And you are going to try and carry them for 90 seconds. 1 minute 30, 90 seconds. We're not testing your grip strength. We're not testing your overall strength. We're testing your postural stabilizing muscles to see if they give way first, which essentially is the brakes on the car. You may have the fancy engine, but if you haven't got the brakes to support it, it's going to break down. So we're looking at the under the hood, the underlying factors of what's going on. So those are the simple strength and power tests to see what type of athlete we have. Do they have the fundamentals in place to support the framework to allow them to perform at the highest levels? Now, we've got two sides to this coin. We've got strength and power, and then we have cardio. So we'll rub this off here now. We have cardio. Now again, in the world of cricket, we've all heard about the 2K time trial. Everyone talks about that, and they all talk about the yo-yo test as well. Those have been elite standards for many, many years. I don't think they're going to change any time soon. However, it's not where we start. Not where we start at all. In fact, when people come and work with us in person, the first thing we're looking at is a 2-mile assault bike test. For those who don't know what an assault bike is, or in our case, we use a Rogue Echo bike, it is a machine of death. It's horrendous, but very limited risk of injury, very limited technique requirements, and it gives us a really good idea in about 6 minutes time, or less than 6 minutes, of what is going on, what the physical capabilities of this athlete are. Now, a good time, not the great time, but a good time is sub 5 minutes for men and sub 5:30 for women. So again, if we know we're not hitting those sorts of numbers on here, we know we have really poor cardiovascular capacity. Now, if you haven't got an assault bike, we look at a 5K run. It's a little bit longer than a 2K run, and I'll save the 2K run breakdown for another video of why I'm not a big fan of most cricketers doing it. But the 5K run is very simple. If you don't have access to this bike, we need to see a snapshot. It's not a true aerobic capacity test, and it's not a true hardcore anaerobic test. It's a snapshot. And we take these numbers from the average numbers of recreational 5K runners from around the world, and we're looking at, very simply, can men run 5K sub 25 minutes, and women, so men up here, and females, can you run sub 28 minutes? That is just some simple objective markers done simply with minimal equipment. Again, our preferred route is the assault bike or the Echo road bike, but if you haven't got that, you've got a 5K run. So if we know we can't jump very well, we can't express power, we can't throw the ball very well, and we can't carry our weight, we know there's a fundamental underlying strength and structural issue in place. And if we do these simple tests right at the start, not only can we program better, but we also know that they have a cardiovascular capacity. Again, from what I'm seeing in cricket, compared to a top-level American sports, we're still in our foundation phase. We don't realize what our true capacity is. And if we look at American sports as a benchmark in so many different things, their professionalism and their standards are much, much higher. And I encourage each and every one of you, if you're aspiring to be a great cricketer, to become a cricketer, or just play better on weekends and enjoy it more and recover faster, you improve your strength, basic power, improve your cardiovascular capacity, and everything else will take care of itself, because there's a reason why it's in our pillars and helping you perform better. Because remember, technique is the output, and if we don't have physical capacity, our technique will diminish because we won't be fit enough or strong enough to carry out what is required of us in the game. Now, I hope that makes sense. I hope that's useful. Drop a comment down below, and remember, like and subscribe and press that bell notification if you can, and I'll see you in the next Blackboard Friday video.